Hey, welcome back to On God. I'm your host, Matt LeGrande, the world's holiest podcast. We are here with Vera Drew today, the creator, writer, director, star of the movie The People's Joker. Also the editor of the movie. If you haven't seen it, it's on Mubi and Tubi. It's amazing. Check it out. Vera's also an Emmy-nominated editor. She can do everything. We talk a lot about the movie and her creative process in that movie. We talk a lot about drugs in this episode. We talk about sobriety. We also talk about heaven, and we talk about how being gay led us to certain movies and my date with the president's daughter. And Vera's a great guest. I'm so happy I got to have them. And check out People's Joker, and I hope you enjoy the episode. On God,
the world's holiest podcast.
Sorry, we're talking about The People's Joker. Your movie is incredible.
Thank you.
And I was showing a friend for the first time the other day, and we paused the movie, and he just looked at me, and he was like, I am blown away by this movie. Like, he could not comprehend how good it was. And he looked at me and he was like, how could someone edit this thing? And I was like, she edited it.
Yeah.
It's such a, you have such a clear, no one else could have edited that movie. No. It was like the type of film where it's like such a clear, singular vision of your writing. Like, it's such a specific story. And the fact that it's able to be cohesive is crazy.
Thank you for saying it's cohesive. Yeah.
Oh my God. No, I mean, just as someone who writes stories and likes making stuff, like just making even like a short film that makes sense is such a hard thing to do and is such an achievement. I have such an appreciation for anyone who makes anything, but then to make something that is so funny too. I mean, I'm like laughing out loud in that movie. It's so good.
Thank you so much.
I was curious about the drug use in it. I interpreted it as this person being on some type of antipsychotics.
Yeah, I mean, that was definitely part of my history. I was before coming out as trans, I was diagnosed as everything under the sun. Like every single thing, like doctors could not, and I could not figure out what was wrong with me. And where we arrived was just, I'm definitely like autistic. I probably have ADHD, but I don't really do anything about it. And I'm just deeply transsexual. And, so yeah, I mean, like, I think the drug use in it and you know, Smilex is this stand-in for, it's pharmaceuticals that I used to mask gender dysphoria and everything else that was going on. But, you know, and I don't know. I mean, it's always like a tightrope when I talk about this, because I don't want to sound like a Scientologist or something. Because I think, you know, I there have been times in my life where, like, you know, Wellbutrin was very helpful for me for a period and stuff like that. Like, I'm not like I'm not fucking Bill Maher or something about like pharmaceuticals.
He's very anti-pharmaceutical.
He's super he's anti-vax. He's
Bill Maher.
Yeah. Yeah. I know too much about Bill Maher. But my misuse of those prescription drugs, the overlap between recreational substances was very, it's a blurry line. I would have never, in my 20s, I would have never became an opiate junkie if I wasn't prescribed opiates. Like, it's
you were prescribed Xanax?
I was prescribed, I had 3 surgeries in 1 year.
Oh shit.
When I was like 19, and I got, liquid hydrocodone. Was my best friend, and I'd mix it with whiskey. I'd smear it on fucking PB&J sandwiches.
Really?
Yeah. I was just like yeah. And that was like, you know, I mean, the best intentions. But yeah, that was.
You would crush up.
I'd crush it.
hydrocodone and put it on a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yeah. Because peanut butter and jelly is already good. So why not make it better, you know?
It's the only, that's the secret, kids. That's how you make it even better.
Yeah.
Damn. Were you on, I'm curious from my own experience because I was put on Zoloft at like a really young age, which like makes alcohol hit you like 4 times as fast. Yeah. And anytime I would do downers, if I mixed them with alcohol, which is a common experience, I think I would black out. Mm-hmm. But not like some people say they blacked out and what they mean is that they got really drunk. Mine is like I'm missing 36 hours.
Yeah.
So, but I think that's a combination of my antidepressants with alcohol with the drugs. So if I was taking Zoloft and I would get drunk, if someone gave me a Xanax to like, you know, peak my high or something, I would be out for the next 36 hours.
Yeah. No, I'm a blackout drinker, everything. Like in Xanax and Klonopin were like my time travel drugs. Like I would go.
Oh my God.
It's like losing time.
I forgot about Klonopin.
Klonopin should be illegal, in my opinion. I don't know if like the level of fucked up that, and I have horrible anxiety, but like, yeah, not for me.
Yeah, I have full days that went missing on Klonopin, and then it is this game of like piecing together what happened. But when I would wake up or get out of it, come to, it's like I had fully showered, taken my contacts out, brushed my teeth, like gone to parties, like drove my car, and I have no memory of any of it. It's not like I passed out. It's like I lived a full life.
Yeah. No, that's a blackout. Is you're still moving around. I'm like really lucky that I mean nothing. You know, I the first time I got sober was spurred by I woke up in another state, which I was able to like look around,
like a geographic state.
Yeah, like
okay.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, no, like in a
okay.
mental and emotional and literal waking up in a hotel room and looking around and being like this is probably not normal. And yeah, I'm lucky that I never killed anybody. I'm lucky that I didn't. Nothing really bad ever happened to me. But yeah, and I don't miss it. But you know, like when it came to making The People's Joker, I wanted to talk about drugs in a way that, because also like, you know, sobriety and recovery, I mean, without getting too much into it and honoring the traditions and the secrecy of the club, I've been around sober people and, you know, 12-step groups and stuff my entire life. Like it's some of my, you know, like one of my earliest memories is being in daycare at one. So I wanted to talk about drug use in that film in a way that was just acknowledging it as kind of almost like as a part of the queer experience and kind of removing the stigma from it too. And it's actually like been a thing that when I screen it, you screen the movie, you know, I've had a lot of people come out to me after screenings, which is cool. But I've also had a lot of people come up to me and be like, thanks for talking about like addiction in this direct way that's also not like applying shame or stigma to it. It's almost just recognizing it as part of the journey for like a lot of queer and trans people. Yeah, which feels good, you know, and was really just coming from a place of wanting to talk about my experience and mythologize my life a little bit.
It's really, really interesting watching the movie because it's such a personal story, but then you put it in this universe that is so, you know, fantasized and fictitious. So at the same time, I was just very inspired. I feel like almost everything I write, they say write what you know. And I feel like I'm cheating by doing that. I have this like horrible internal voice that's like, wow, you're so boring. Like you can't write like Lord of the Rings or something. And then I watch like a movie like yours where I was like, oh my God, she told her story so specifically, but she was able to integrate it in a way that was like so beyond reality.
Yeah.
And I feel like I don't know what that process was like for you, but I almost feel like there is maybe some freedom in telling it that way, as opposed to if you just like gave the very specifics of this was my actual, in the movie, you're like raised in Smallville and then you go to Gotham, which is like obviously like, coming from a small town and going to New York or LA or something.
Yeah, no, I mean, it added some freedom to it. It was also like the legality of like making a film that uses Warner Brothers characters and having it fall under fair use and parody. A requirement of being able to play with those toys was making a story that was deeply personal. Like I had to basically,
I don't understand. Like they said that you have to make a movie that's
no. When I started writing the movie, I started working with a lawyer immediately because I knew I had a feeling that. Well, I didn't know because Warner Brothers ended up sending. They don't approve of the movie. For all I know, I'm probably some version of blacklisted from that company for now. But I had a feeling that I knew that I was making something that like could get me in some legal hot water. So I met with a lawyer to basically come up with a definition of like what are the boundaries of parody law and fair use. And fair use is like the thing in documentaries that allows like a filmmaker to show clips from other movies or play with, IP or something. You think about like Rodney Asher's movie Room 237, like they show most of The Shining in that movie. He's able to do that because of the fair use thing.
Oh, they're not okay. They didn't have to get special approval.
They don't get special approval. No.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So,
okay.
And what I found out in that process was like parody law and fair use. There's not even really laws about these things. It's like they exist as legal defenses if you ever end up getting sued. So I had to basically craft a legal defense, which was kind of fun and like informed the creativity of it, because it's like, okay, well, I want to process this like toxic T for T relationship that I was in. What is a stand-in in Detective Comics or in the Warner Brothers DC canon that I can point to? It's Jared Leto's Joker is an obvious choice because that Joker is like a toxic abuser, and it helped that Jared Leto played a trans woman in a movie. I could point to that as like, yeah, we're making commentary on that. So
to clarify, you're saying Jared Leto's character in Dallas Buyers Club?
Yes, helped the People's Joker exist as a legal...
Gotcha. Okay. I've never seen Jared Leto's Joker in, which is...
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like, is he trans in that movie?
Yeah. I mean, they never mention it, but like, I mean, he does have T-Boy swag in that movie. He's got some, So yeah, I don't know. It's
that's so funny.
To answer your question, you walked in right when I said T-Boy swag. To answer your question, yeah, I mean, like I grew up reading comics and I love all that stuff. So like it gave me freedom to talk about my story in like a way that was safe, but also, yeah, just legally was kind of what I had to do to some degree.
Okay. That's cool. It's kind of fun because it gives, I like having restrictions because it makes you get really creative, which obviously was like a huge part of your film, having to like literally create worlds, because not only you filmed it during COVID.
Yeah. In 5 days.
What?
Yeah. In 5 days. And that's because I only was able to do, I never want to shoot at that speed ever again, but it was pre-vax, so we needed to be efficient.
Okay.
But I had like storyboarded the entire movie before we shot it. So I cut those storyboards together. So I knew exactly what shots and what footage I needed to get. There was really no experimentation on set besides, a little bit of riffing, but yeah.
Okay. I assumed that so much of the story was crafted in post-production, but no, you're like a fucking professional and you were like ready to go with it already.
I tried to be, I think when you're making something that's really personal and that's also like very
there's an emo band practicing next door. This set is very People's Joker.
Yeah. This wouldn't be, I mean, I bring chaos everywhere I go.
You hired the band next door.
Yeah, I don't know why I internalized that as my fault. That's interesting. That's like...
Wait. Oh my God. Yeah, you're apologizing for being on a podcast where we have an emo band playing next door. No.
But the other thing, the writing personal stories, because I understand that, and that's a note that I used to get a lot is when I would pitch stuff, before making the movie, I was kind of just in like a TV purgatory where I was like pitching things all the time. And
yeah.
The feedback I would always get is like too niche or too much your perspective. But I don't know. I mean, like, I think every movie or every piece of art that has value is coming from an artist's point of view and is coming from a personal place. If it's not, then it's probably not very good. But you think about like Steven Spielberg movies, pretty much every single one of them is about his parents' divorce. Like E.T. is just about like, oh, my mom's hot and my dad left, like it's also got like an alien in it that looks like a penis,
Yeah.
So it's just
looks exactly like my penis.
Yeah.
E.T.
Yeah. I'm glad we covered that.
Me too.
That was on my notes of.
Yeah, I wrote that down specifically.
Yeah.
Make sure to insert that in the interview.
Yeah.
Everyone should watch People's Joker. It's on Mubi. It's on Tubi. It's on all the Ubis. Also, Mubi has like a promo right now, I think, where you can get it for like 6 months for 99 cents or something.
That's great. That's a good deal.
Yeah, it's a good deal. But yeah, your movie is so incredibly original and personal and fucked up and hilarious. I loved it.
Thank you.
I loved it so much.
Thank you so much.
And I like showing it to other people who have no idea what they're getting into and they're being like, wow, I didn't know. There are like I remember when I watched Kill Bill for the first time and I was like, I didn't know you could do this in movies, which, come to find out he was like basically ripping off all these other movies to make his own, which is what a lot of great artists do.
Yeah. I mean,
but just like the inserting of different types of mediums into a standard narrative is like such a cool way to tell a story. And you're like, you created something that is remarkable.
Thank you.
Yeah. This soundtrack.
Yeah. No, I mean the Kill Bill is like one. I don't know. I love maximalism. I love like film that does just like kitchen sink filmmaking is. I don't know. I don't really see a point in like. I mean, like I can watch like a John Cassavetes movie where it's just like actors in a room and the camera's like kind of fly on the wall. Or like something like Castration movie where it's very DIY and it's just, but like I adore movies that are like big and Brechtian and playing with a lot of different styles.
Yeah, it's definitely out of my wheelhouse as far as creative thinking goes. So anytime I see that, I'm so inspired because I'm like, that's not how my brain works at all. I think very much in like reality and like very grounded. So it's like cool whenever I get a chance to see that. You you mentioned, I was watching another interview with you where you mentioned Mulholland Drive.
Yeah.
And how you were led to, it's one of your favorite movies.
Yeah, it's
I mean, it's an amazing movie. But you were led to Mulholland Drive because of skins.com.
Yeah, Mr. Skin. Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
for like the lesbian scene, I'm assuming.
Yeah. I was, like many millennials, which is always how a good sentence starts. I got into porn at a very young age, and I remember being online and seeing that scene, and it was my first time. Because I don't know, I'd seen girl on girl stuff up in, at that point in my life, but I had never seen like a girl on girl scene where it was like, oh, the characters like love each other. This is like beautiful.
Yeah.
And sweet. So I was like, I need to find this movie. I think I was like 12 years old or something. So I found it, and yeah. And then it changed my life. I mean, like, David Lynch is like my favorite artist.
I had like it's so funny. There was this website called Meta Cafe where it sounds similar, but it was like, it would show you, regular porn, maybe I'm a lesbian in this way, regular porn wouldn't do things for me. Like, I needed to have a storyline. So I would always be drawn to sex scenes in movies because they had like strong character development.
Sure. Yeah.
And so it was like really, I felt very invested. And I remember looking up, I couldn't find the clip, but it was like, there is a movie called Antichrist and there is full frontal male nudity in it. And I was like, I have to get this movie. I want to see. Have you seen Antichrist?
Oh, yeah.
So I bought a pirated version of the DVD Antichrist, and I'm like 13, and I put it in my like laptop, and I play it. It's like him.
Changed you, I'm sure.
Well, it's him getting castrated and then, ejaculating blood from his dick.
Right. Yeah. I forgot that was a component of the male nudity in that movie. Yeah.
So I'm like there, like, with like my like lotion and tissues ready to like have the time of my life, being like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get to see, what's his name? Willem Dafoe. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get to see Willem Dafoe fully naked after I'm invested in this character. I'm like waiting for the scene to build up, and then it's just his dick getting like beaten to a pummel with like a hammer and ejaculating blood, and I am horrified. But as a result, similarly, it introduced me to Lars von Trier, and I was like, it's like I went into that movie being like, man, gonna add one to the spank bank. And then I was like, oh no, this movie's gonna change my world.
Yeah.
My soul. And I was like, this is something is wrong. Also, I was Christian, and the movie was called Antichrist. And then so I started the movie again from the beginning, and I watched the whole thing, and I was like, holy shit. Like, I had this like there are people screaming in the background. I had this whole moment. This is so people's Joker coded. I had this moment watching that movie where I was just like, oh, sex and like pornography or eroticism is not just for like hedonists. Like, people can use this like as a tool to tell a really effective and disturbing story. Like, first, I think in my childish brain at that point, I was just like, sex equals people wanting to come. And then I was like, oh no, there's like nudity that is like because people find fascination with the human body and they're wanting to explore something.
And the whole opening of that movie, oh
my god, it's
the sex scene where it's like it's like beautiful slow-mo, and then the baby is like,
it's black and white in the shower. It's like one of the most beautiful shots. And I think the couple's having sex in the shower. And as a result of their negligence, as a result of them being involved with each other, the child falls out of a window and dies. That's the beginning
that's
of the movie.
Like crazy. That's a crazy. Yeah. Like, cause it shows the tragedy that can be a human connection. For a 13-year-old to
still have sex in the shower, your kid might die.
Yeah, and you just wanted to wank it. Yeah, I mean, that's it. It was a different world because, like, I mean, even like, one of my other favorite movies is Showgirls, which was on TV all the time growing up, and it was always this version where like they would censor the nudity by like putting digital bikinis over the breasts, and like,
what?
Yeah,
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah, it was really weird because like I remember being so young and seeing it and
like a bikini emoji like over there.
Kind of, yeah. It almost like looked like MS Paint or something because like it's like kind of shaky
it's like
and
the worst poor graphic.
Yeah, but like that's what you had. That's it's pre-internet. Like I had a we had scrambled cable, so like it was. But you made do with what you could get. And then now I watch that movie and I'm like, that's crazy that I would like wank it to that movie because like the sexuality in it is so like robotic and terrifying.
No, it's like really goofball slapstick. It feels like you're watching Airplane.
It did completely, yeah.
I think it's fun though that like I'm just making this connection, but like our queerness, if you will, it's like because of my gay brain, I was like, there's gonna be a dick in the movie, I gotta watch it. And then it led me to this whole world of like, oh, very interesting European cinema.
Yeah.
And similarly, like you're like, oh, a lesbian sex scene. And then you're like, oh, Mulholland Drive. Now I know who David Lynch is.
And now I also know, because there was this other thing with that film where it's like, it's one of the first times I watched a movie where like I was devastated by the end. Like, spoiler alert for Mulholland Drive, like the first hour of it being this like beautiful Hollywood fantasy, and then she like comes out of it and you basically realize that it's all this like it is just her like masturbating and having a fantasy about being a Hollywood actress, and her real life is horrible. It's just hell, and there's like hitmen, and like she's caught up in some sort of crazy like Illuminati Hollywood shit. And like watching it, like when it was over, I was so heartbroken and like upset. Like I was upset, but I also knew I had watched something that was like just an important piece of art. Like that, like I felt this tremendous like, wow, this is like profound. And I don't think I'd ever had that with like a movie before until seeing that movie. So it's like, I don't know, it's kind of cool because I was raised Christian, I was raised Catholic. And sex was and my parents have been together since they were in fucking second grade. Sex was so taboo. My understanding of like romantic relationships were completely unreasonable expectations. So getting these like glimpses into like, following the lust of MrSkin.com and could lead me to great art that I wouldn't have seen otherwise, and like understanding the human experience and my own addiction to like fantasy it was deeply, deeply profound experience.
Did you ever have those? My dad bought a thing. I'm trying to remember what it was called. It was a thing that censored everything on your TV. My parents are deeply Christian. And I'm trying to remember what it was called, but it was just an automatic censor on stuff. So like anytime it would just add subtitles and it would mute what they were saying. So the person would be like, I heard you fucked my wife. And it would be like, I heard you had hugs with my wife.
We didn't have that. No, but we had my parents, we had cable for a really long time. We had free cable for a really long time. So I definitely there was a period where I had access to the Playboy channel illegally. And then at some point we got DirecTV and there was parental restriction, but I figured out that password for that shit within a month of having it. It was just my parents' wedding anniversary.
Oh my God. Yeah. You're like, you dumb idiot.
Yeah, they weren't. I mean, they'll never watch this, but if they are, I'm sorry. But yeah, they were they wanted to shield me from everything, and they simply could not, and also were bad at it. It was,
I'm sure it comes from like a good place.
Yeah. It's funny. I the last time I was home, I was talking to my mom because I have a nephew, and so my mom's a grandma now, and she was like, we could have chilled. And it was like, wow, Thank you.
I had a really, really sweet moment with my mom where I think the last time I was home when we always go to brunch together when I'm home, and she said to me, it's like this moment that you never get, but you always wish, like dream of getting. But she was like, we didn't do a great job at raising you. And since I've had grandkids, I feel like I've finally learned how I should have acted as a parent.
Yeah.
And she was like, and I should have just smothered you with love.
Mm.
Like she was like, now as a grandparent, I realize my only job is to love. That's all I need to do. And it was like such a deep and profound and like earnest apology. You know, my parents are really great in that they have like done a lot of work on themselves, but to be able to get that, like it's really hard for people to admit that like they maybe could have done things differently. And to acknowledge that. And I have a lot of like love for my parents. And my childhood, I did feel very neglected and my emotions pushed to the side. So similarly to
cue the rock music. Yeah. But I think like the early scenes in your movie, The People's Joker, are so profound because God, the way that the mom interacts with the little boy, where she's such a narcissist and she makes his hurt feelings about her is so painful and so real.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and that was like, it was crazy. Because I don't know, when I made the movie, I was kind of like, I'll probably screen this once in like a warehouse or something, and like that'll be it. And then like it got into the Toronto International Film Festival, and I was like, oh, you know, and I woke up the next day and my like face was on the cover of like every trade and Joker makeup and stuff, and I was like, my mom's gonna find out about this movie. And I remember having a conversation with her right before she came and saw it when we screened it in Chicago, and basically kind of told her like, you know, it's just, we were at a place in our relationship where I think she could understand that's what was going on. And I think like it was great because Lynn Downey, who plays Joker's mom in the movie, when we were talking about the character, she was like, I don't want to play this like a villain. I want to play this like the character thinks she's a hero in this story. And I was like, great.
Which is the best way to play any character.
It's
right? Like the character has to truly believe that they're in the right.
Yeah. I think it's the only.
Otherwise, they're not interesting.
No. And like everybody, I mean, spiritually, the way I can get through my day and reality and moving through society as a trans woman and just as a fucking human being, as an American, as whatever, is I have to assume that even the quote unquote worst people in the world are acting from a place of the best intentions. Like, I know that is like realistically not true, but it's how I can emotionally like get through things and not cling to resentment and pain, because otherwise it's like, you know, and when you're making art, it's just easier. It's a cheat code for creating interesting villains.
Yeah.
Is having them come from this place. So yeah, it was good. I mean, thank you for the compliment, and you know, I feel like we made something that like showed an honest but optimistic but honest portrayal of that kind of relationship. And you know, like my mom was like a kid when she had me. She was in her like her early 20s. Like she had a lot she was figuring out. And you know, like how it's a different world now, but like in the 90s, like when a kid went to their parents and was like, I feel like a gender that you don't think I am, it's like there was no context for what that was like.
Yeah. The last thing I'll say on the People's Joker, which you touched on a little bit, I one of my favorite things is just seeing a really, really toxic trans couple in it.
Yeah.
And that is just the dynamic. And it doesn't have anything to do with them being trans. It literally is just like, these are two fucked up people because everyone is fucked up in their own way. And like, it doesn't matter, like, toxic relationships do not discriminate based on your gender or sexuality.
No.
Like, and I think that's fun. It's like good to have like a very three-dimensional trans character where like I saw myself in T-Boy Swag Joker.
Yeah.
Where I was like, oh, I have been this manipulative piece of shit.
I have too. I mean, like it's, you know, I think in those kind of dynamics too, especially like in queer films, you'll see like a toxic relationship and it'll really be categorized as this like, it'll just be that. It'll be like toxic. But like for me, the relationship I was processing and the relationships that I was processing, within that toxicity, I found myself. Like I actualized. Like sometimes I think I don't like to romanticize that kind of dynamic, but there was a lot of love there, and there was something about walking around in circles and repeating the trauma of conditional love with a romantic partner helped me get to a place where I was ready to like come out and like find myself. And I feel like a lot of people have that experience. And it's funny because like it's another thing when I screen the movie sometimes, and if I'm like doing a meet and greet afterwards or something, and like I'll meet a T for T couple and they'll be like, it's just like us, and I'll be like, okay, cool. I'll sign some stuff. And I don't want to judge them because it's like, okay, well, maybe they'll figure it out, or
right.
maybe they won't. And then
you like give them a hug and you're like, get out, run for your life.
Yeah, no, for real.
Yeah.
That's
funny. It kind of reminds me of, I see this online a lot. There will be these like, I see like different gay guys who have gone back to the church. And then they're like renouncing their gayness. And they're like, God, I tried to give myself to this like sinful lifestyle for like 10 years and it was so toxic and horrible. And now like I'm finally free in Jesus's name.
Yeah.
And I can immediately empathize with what they're saying, which is that they got into some gay relationships. They probably were rejected by a lot of people and they didn't find this perfect, loving person. And so they're like, now I have to go back to Jesus. But like, that isn't an issue with the gay community. That is just like a part of the human experience. And that's a part of heartbreak. And so they're like, oh my God, I tried being gay and it sucked and I got my feelings hurt. And so I'm no longer gay anymore because like Jesus wants me to be happy and free. And I'm like, you could do both.
Yeah.
You could go back to Jesus and then probably find a loving partner who emulates things you like about Jesus. And you were probably just dating assholes, you know? Or you probably weren't in, like, because you weren't centered or you're trying to find Jesus in your partner, then like you're just setting yourself up for a terrible relationship, you know, trying to find that person who's going to save you. And it's like, as we see in the People's Joker, Harlequin's got to save herself.
Yeah. And, you know, I mean, people can feel free to disagree with this, but I think T for T is really, it's portrayed as this utopian ideal of relationships.
Is it?
In some sort, maybe on Tumblr specifically.
Okay.
But also just, I mean, like, I feel like I have known a lot of trans people that really they go to that as like, well, this is not that it's easier or that it's like, that there's somehow a thing to it where it's like, well, we are in this experience together where, and for me, that just sounds like trauma bonding. I mean, I still date trans people and I'm attracted to trans people, but like I don't try to apply this like utopian mindset to it where it's like, or like a separatist ideal of like trans society versus like cis society, because I mean, most of my day is interacting with cis men. I work in the fucking film industry. Like it's yeah. And I think within queer community there's a lot of oppression that we put upon each other. Like I think there's the outside oppressors and a world that doesn't want me to use the bathroom I'm supposed to use or misgenders me or whatever. But, a lot of us end up reenacting our trauma upon each other in this way that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really wanted to talk about. I'm going to burp.
Do it.
Feel free to use that. Feel free to, I don't know if you're like building a sound
Trans
library.
people burp too.
Trans people burp too.
Yeah.
Where
are you from?
Chicago.
Oh, cool.
South suburbs. Yeah.
Do you have a background in stand-up comedy?
Yeah, I started really young. I was doing sketch and improv in Chicago throughout like high school and then college, and then did stand up for about like 3 years in Chicago. Then moved out here to LA when I was 22 and did it for a second, but it just wasn't fun out here.
Yeah.
And I had been doing it for that long, and I wanted to like focus on film and production and all that stuff. And, I went through UCB out here. I got up to like level 3, and then like my teacher was like, "You shouldn't do this anymore." He was like, "You're really funny." He might have even said, I wish I could remember who it was. It was, but he probably won't want me to say who he is. Because this is kind of a fucked up thing to say to a student, but like it was really appreciated because he was like, "You're really funny, but you don't do the thing that we do here. Like you're doing your own thing."
Yeah.
And I think you're wasting your money and your time. So go find your thing. And I was like,
I think
cool,
that's
thank God.
Like a really great advice. And it's a great way of putting it. I had a teacher I was taking like classes at Groundlings, and one of the teachers, like he sat all of us down and he was like, this is a very, very specific way of doing things. And they like things done in a very specific manner. And he was like, I don't always think it's the funniest way that people do stuff. That's just how they like it. Yeah. So if you don't click with us here, like that doesn't mean you're not funny. It just means that you don't do it in the style that they like. And he was like, I can't name how many people have done this course and we have not aligned with it and have gone on to have like their own sitcom or whatever.
Yeah.
Because like this is just a very specific brand. Well, so there was a lot of like freedom in him saying like, this is awesome. Try this out. If it works for you, great. Keep doing it. If it doesn't work for you, like go find something else. Go do something else.
Carve out your own space. I mean, that's what I had to do. Because I had this other experience. It was right after that, after trying the UCB route. I was still doing stand up. This would have been like 2014. And I did this set at an open mic. I can't remember the place. It was like at a Chinese restaurant or something out here.
Melody
I did this.
Lounge?
Yes.
Was it?
I think so, yeah.
Oh my God. That was one of the first open mics I went to.
I bombed. I bombed in a way that I
remember you.
And I bombed a lot. And I used to actually love bombing because it was like, it was an excuse to be antagonistic towards people.
Yeah.
But I bombed doing a set that was pretty that was pretty personal and pretty like, I don't know, angry. And when I got off stage, the host of the mic was like, "Give it up, everybody, the Charles Bukowski of comedy." And I remember being pissed because I was like, I mean, you mean that as an insult, but that sounds fucking sick to me. Like, that sounds cool as fuck. The Charles Bukowski of comedy. So that was the last time I ever did stand-up because I was like, fuck these people.
Yeah. It's so funny thinking about the host perspective where he's like, as you're up there, like telling your life story and bombing, he's like, okay, what's something funny I can say in between comics? What's something funny? And he's like, Charles Bukowski. Okay, got it. And then he goes up and says his one line. He's like, yes, got it.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck you forever and die.
Yeah, I hope he's watching. Because then like the next act,
It was Bill Maher.
Yeah. The next act, I think, also like talked shit on me. And it was just like my experience with comedy at that point was just like, because I don't know, improv is so fucking gay and like, we're all on a team and it's fun and like, let's all make woo, I'm milking a cow and blah, blah, blah. And then like coming out here and trying to do stand up, it's just like everybody was doing Louis C.K. shit, like where they're like, oh, my dick and like my, I like, it was just, there was no community. But so I had to find my own way, and you know, I did stuff with Tim and Eric, and I was an editor there, and then a director and a producer, and I also was like a founding member of this public access community called Highland Park TV, which is still around, and that was a space where I felt that sense of community, and I also felt like I can talk about stuff that's like quote unquote dangerous or like artsy, and you know, I figured out I was queer and then trans, like doing that space. I don't know that I would have been able to find that within the structure of like,
oh my God,
the comedy
I cannot imagine trying to navigate that through doing open mics where you're literally trying to like bare your soul and people are like, save it for the journal, you know, and you're like trying to find the funny of it, as opposed to having a good friend foundation and like then being able to explore yourself and your art through that. God, early, like I just remember the first couple years I was going to open mics. And I would go to 3 or 4. Please. These are sour grapes. We're officially sponsored.
Oh, cool. They're bigger.
They haven't given us money, but they don't know about the sponsorship yet. But it's really happening. I just remember feeling so defensive because I was coming out as gay, but like then trying to make jokes about it, and there wasn't enough time removed. So everything I was saying was so deep. It felt like life or death every time I was getting on stage. And I wasn't able to have fun with it. It was all coming from such a defensive place. And I felt like when things would hit, they would really hit. And when they didn't, it was really bad. And like, it was like getting off stage and being like, I'm going to kill myself.
Yeah.
Like I did not find the joke in there. And I just told the entire audience that I have HPV. And like no one thought it was funny. Yeah. So now they're just like, oh, that's the kid with warts on his asshole.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like 22, just being like, no one likes this.
Yeah. I would have loved it. I would have been there. I would have been like, let's go fucking start an improv team. That's yeah. It sucks. And it's like, it ends up for me. It was like, I don't know, like it ended up just becoming a part of my cycle of self-hate and like having that experience too. I did before I came out as anything, I would do drag all the time in stand. There was a period, especially towards the end of my time in Chicago, where if I was doing stand-up, if I was like in a showcase, I was in drag and I wouldn't even talk about it at all. But then like once I started like figuring my shit out, like talking about it in that space just did not feel safe at all. It doesn't, I don't know. It's hard because like creativity can be so helpful and in grappling with identity and like actualizing, but it's scary.
God, you really have to fucking eat shit in order to find things that are good.
Yeah.
And it sucks and it's painful, but like I don't know if you can do it and come out on the other side. It can be great.
Yeah.
What comes to mind when I say the word God for you?
I mean, it's a word that I used to actually have a real problem with. Like I couldn't say it without remembering when I was a kid, and it was like really like bricked up with like pain and shame and hell and all that stuff. But I'm in a place right now. I'm deeply spiritual. You know, God brings me a lot of comfort, and it's how I and surrendering to whatever that thing is how I get through the experience of being a beautiful ray of light stuck inside of this like sweaty meat puppet suit that unfortunately I have to reside probably for hundreds of years, because I think I'm going to live probably too long. Not hundreds of years.
But I don't know, with the way technology is going, if you take your NAD supplement, yeah, you got at least another 200, 250 on you.
So scary. But yeah, no, I'm very, I believe in God. I'm very, very spiritual.
So you grew up Catholic? Mm-hmm. Were you going to church? Or I'm confused with Catholicism. You guys go to mass?
We go to mass. I mean, I probably would have called it church too.
Was it more like you're like in church pews with like stained glass windows and you guys read like hymns and stuff?
Yeah, and it's all like, all the songs are like, God, I'm so sorry that I am bad. And yeah, like Jesus, it's like crucifixes everywhere, and Jesus is like, I mean, that was like an early thing. I remember like this is, I'm sorry if this is too much, but whatever. I feel safe here. I would kneel, when it's a lot of standing and sitting and kneeling. And when you would kneel and you're looking up at like Jesus on the cross, and he's just like this muscular, like it's like Hellraiser or something, and he's like crucified, is fucking hot as hell. Like some of my earliest like fucking boners were just kneeling in church, looking up at Christ on the cross and going like, I mean, I don't know if I want to be that or if I want to do that to a guy or what, but this seems cool.
You're like, CrossFit Jesus, I'm coming back every week.
Yeah.
God, that is so funny.
It's weird too, because like most Christian faiths, I think, don't really do the crucifix. But yeah,
we did this when I was in high school. I went to like a really Christian high school, and I remember one assignment we had. It was when Facebook came out, and an assignment was to create a Facebook profile as if you were Jesus.
That's awesome.
And I remember I was like, Jesus wants to laugh. And so like I put under favorite movies Kung Pao. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It was like one of my favorite movies growing up. And I was like, I think Jesus would think that's funny. And someone else in the class like got really upset, and they're like, I looked at his profile and Jesus's favorite movie was The Passion of the Christ. And I was like, do you think Jesus wants to watch him? Like, it's like if you had a video that someone made of me being murdered, and I'd be like, oh, it's been a long week. How about we put on the clip of me being beaten to death in front of people? That would be fun.
Yeah, I don't think
How about we put on the clip where I'm like stripped of all my clothes and someone's stabbing my head with thorns?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't think Jesus is fucking kicking back on the couch watching his crucifixion.
Probably not.
But that was the correct and like, and I'm like, I don't know about that.
Well, no, I mean that's like, it's weird because like every couple of years I do find myself in a church suddenly. Like I there was a couple of years ago where I was going to an Episcopalian church like every Sunday for like a year. but I would never call myself a Christian now. But there is something still about the story that I get a little fixated on, and it's as a myth or whatever, as like a archetypal structural story. I find a lot of meaning in it, and you know, he's like the OG, like anarchist leftist, like hanging out with sex workers and fucking you know, anti-government, like it's just the most pro-human, like it's but that most recent experience, I stopped going because it was funny, because it was this very accepting church. They were so thrilled to have a trans woman there, and I didn't like that. I somehow ended up getting put to work too. Like I was, you know, ended up getting like roped into being a greeter and like being part of the welcome committee, and I'm like, I don't want to be the first thing people see when they walk in.
You're like in all the brochures, and they're like, we accept all people.
Yeah, look at this fucking brick.
It's like one.
Like, yeah,
it's like one Hispanic, one Asian person, one black person, and you, and they're like, welcome to our community.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, like it's I don't know, because I personally, whatever anybody wants to do is fine by me, but I think like spirituality has saved my life, and having a connection to a higher power and like an experience beyond just the like gross matter 3D reality has informed my queerness so much and like helped me exist. So theoretically, I like where that comes from when it comes to like an affirming church or something that's like welcoming in marginalized groups, or, you know, but there's a version of it too that's just like, it's like they're collecting Pokemon cards or something, and it's a little intense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, and so I've taken a very eclectic approach to staying in touch with source and with God, and at this point in my life, because the less structure, kind of the better, and the more diverse the approach, the better too, because it's like you're processing this thing that is bigger than you and that you couldn't possibly understand. So like, you know, the palette you should be kind of painting from can have a wide array of colors. Yeah.
Do you think about death?
Too much.
Really? I only started to think about it a lot over the last couple of years.
Are you, because like in an aging context, or?
I think just for so long I was like sure that I was going to heaven, and so it was like a relief in the back of my mind. And then as I started to explore other ideas, then I just kind of ignored it. And now it's like kind of started to resurface where I'm like, I don't know if anything happens after we die.
Oh, that's the fear.
It's not even a fear. It's just sometimes I let my mind think about nothingness. And like it just being all black, and it gives me this sense of like, why aren't I in love yet?
Oh, yeah.
Like that, like, yeah. Oh my God, no, you don't have to be. Or like, what is the point of any of this or whatever? If I like, woe is me, all this shit. But I think there is like, you know, value in scarcity, and with that being said, like that's what makes life right now so precious, and like it makes me like excited about like, oh, my time on earth is so short, so like let's try to do like as much as I can with my short time here. And I don't mean that in like a nihilistic way at all. Like,
doesn't sound like that. No.
I think in my like most optimistic, I think in like of like reincarnation, and like energy is not created or destroyed, so this goes somewhere, but I don't know.
I don't think anybody does. I mean, so I've been around a lot of death in my life. I've lost a lot of people. Death was very, I don't want to say normalized for me, but wasn't really. I just accepted it. And if anything, I was kind of like, especially when I was like in my cups and in my addiction, I was like, just kind of like, well, whatever. Like I was nihilistic about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's this demon next door.
You don't believe in hell. We'll see about that. And no, it's fine. It's kind of awesome.
I'm so lost on time.
Oh, we're actually just about an hour.
Oh, we are? Oh, okay, cool.
I got really freaked out about the afterlife after a series of very terrifying ketamine infusions.
Dude, ketamine was that was my last ticket.
It's fucking like
That was the thing that brought me to my knee. I got sober when I was on ketamine.
yeah. No, well, ketamine for me, it told me to stop doing it.
That's what happened with me too.
Really? Yeah.
I had an out-of-body experience and I was in a K-hole, and it was like, if I can just get back to Earth, I want to be there.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Yeah. No, it's the closest vision of hell I've ever had. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
God, you should be on billboards.
I should. I mean, it's
a picture of you and it says, ketamine is the closest vision to hell I've ever had. Vera Drew, creator of the People's
of one of the most like K-hold movies ever too. Like I mean, I remember having this experience where I was like, and I mean the reason it's I think it's beneficial. It was beneficial for me because I came to it originally in a therapeutic context, and I fucking was like, oh, let's make it even more therapeutic and do it all the time.
You're like, I love therapy.
Yeah.
Therapy is so awesome.
Yeah. But like, it was helpful in because I had the physical ailments that come with certain types of PTSD. It actually cured those. Like, those things are gone. But it cured those by making me completely dissociative and kind of also just, I don't know, like really returning me to this place where I'm like, okay, I guess I'm just like a beam of light and I'm moving around. And but then yeah, I had some pretty scary, like the thing you described, and also like often felt like I was communing with not only a true version of myself, but like some sort of other intelligences within the universe, and those intelligences telling me like, you gotta stop doing this, dude. Like, you gotta, like, we've told you everything you need to know. Like, there's no more truth you can find here. And that feeling, I mean, like, I worry that the afterlife is something like that. Like, that is if there is one, and you know, like, I think like that movie Jacob's Ladder is so scary to me. And I had an experience shortly after. I've never really talked about this on a podcast, which is a funny thing to say while there's fucking music blasting next to you. But I had a brief experience where I think it's called like Cotard syndrome or something, which is another like form of PTSD where like I literally thought I had died and that I was in some version of like a afterlife Bardo sequence. And that was shortly after I released my movie, because my life changed so fast. I had gone through like a really like traumatic breakup. I was watching all my dreams come true, and I felt so out of body and like weird that I was convinced that I was in some like weird fractured version of hell. And which was actually, when I look back on it now, this like helpful experience, because like what was really going on was I was just operating on this very low vibration. I was not meditating. I wasn't leaving my house. I was so up my own ass with that fucking movie. Like when you make a movie that is that personal and that like ego processy, you're gonna get to a point where you overdose on that and you feel like you're in hell and you're just watching this weird fragmented version of yourself. So I don't know if anything I've said made sense, but like when I think about death now, or like some version of afterlife, or what this energy I carry now, what that looks like once it leaves this body, I think all I try to do every day is put my best foot forward, ask the universe to show me my next right move, and if I hurt somebody or if I need to clean my side of the street in any way, I try to do that, and hopefully, when I die, I don't know if there's like a heaven or if I'll ever get to see my dog or my grandmother again or whatever, but that transition will feel peaceful and not like this crazy K-hole funhouse mirror that the afterlife seems to be when I'm really scared. Did any of that did I just say a bunch of
No, I mean, it's nice. I think like you said something really but I don't think many people get to experience what you experience in like having such a tangible dream fulfilled, where it's like that is like the moment that you've maybe manifested or like been hoping for your entire life, where it's like a total validation of like, this is me on display, the whole world gets to see it. I have my life story has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
I have been officially validated, and you're like, why am I in hell? And it's because, which is like the tale as old as time, but that's not going to be the thing that makes you happy. I mean, I think it's temporary, but like if we're getting validation from, a flawed movie rating system, like, maybe you made a movie and it didn't score well on Rotten Tomatoes. That can't be the thing that like makes or breaks you.
No, any kind
like
of,
that has to be like a bonus, right?
It has to be. It's just a victory lap for the process of getting to make something and express myself and make something that means so much to other people, because at this point now the movie isn't really mine anymore. It's just a thing that people get to watch at home or project their own experience onto and all of that. And that I get, it's why like I still like going to screenings and talking to people, and it's not just because like I'm an attention whore, which I am, but like I get to feel this warmth that like I made something that was so personal and that it has then personal value to the people that watch it. But yeah, like it didn't making a movie, having your dreams come true is not a replacement for therapy, sobriety, recovery, or, getting enough sleep every night. Like it's that, and that was a lesson that I needed to learn. And I'm so grateful that I did, because it's, making movies is so hard. Being an artist is hard. I'm sure being a doctor's hard, but you guys like are usually like the kids of rich people, and you have like there's like facts that you can go to. Like being an artist, it's so ethereal and it's so like personal, and
there's no blueprint of how to graduate from art school.
No. So you got to
Just
find
never
that
ends.
you got to have your own. You got to find meaning and value in other things, and I feel like I'm just starting to do that, and it's great, and because of that, I can be grateful. I can really find gratitude for the experience I had making that movie, releasing it, how it was received, and I can show up more for conversations like this, and just, you know, getting healthy food at the grocery store and not just like drinking Celsiuses all day or chain smoking cigarettes and shrooms and shit.
I'm scared that the Celsius is gonna be like the cigarettes of our generation.
Really? Yeah.
Like
that'll be your billboard.
They're gonna be like you know, like, remember the magazines back in the day where it was like cigarettes make you happy? That we're gonna be like, oh shit, I've been drinking 50 seltzers a week and it's like the number one cause of like brain cancer or something.
When I drink a Celsius, I feel I have a euphoria that I don't trust.
Oh my god!
It scares me. There's like energy drinks.
I can't be productive unless they have a Celsius. A seltzer.
A seltzer. Okay.
Celsius can go to hell. That is fucking anxiety in a can.
Well, sometimes I need that.
I mean, I'll do a hit.
Yeah.
You know, I'll swing a hit from someone else's Celsius.
Sure.
If I see someone chug a whole Celsius, I'm like, that person is the devil.
Yeah, I am the devil.
Demon.
The only reason you're not seeing me have one right now is because I did it before I came here.
You're fucking wild.
But you know, it's also like, it's the thing of being sober now too. It's like, you know, like I was just in New Orleans. I had a bowl of jambalaya and that shit fucked me up. I was so like, you know, life's pretty trippy now.
Oh my god. I've been sober for almost 4 years now, and spicy food. I used to like spicy food when I was younger, and I feel like I stopped when I got into drugs. And now that I'm sober, I'm like, oh my god, I want to fucking feel something. Like, I don't need a bump of Coke. I need fucking Tapatio and my eggs.
Hell
That's
yeah.
gonna make me fucking, you know, get going.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I love like something like a really fishy sandwich too.
Oh God.
Like,
I'm not with you.
No, it's
like a
fine.
tuna sandwich.
Oh yeah. That shit's like, that's like, oh, this is like, what am I eating? This is like, it tastes like garbage, you know? It tastes like, I don't know.
Yeah, I hear you. If you could bring, what is like a how do I word this question so it doesn't sound so corny? what is like a thing that is like heaven on earth for you here? Like when you participate and you're like, oh, that is like a piece of heaven. I will say for myself.
What's yours? Yeah.
Recently, I was with 3 good friends and we ordered froyo and we watched the new season of Euphoria on a couch, like cuddled together, and we kept pausing and dissecting what was going on.
Yeah.
I think we're the only 4 people on earth who like the new season of Euphoria, and maybe we just like it because we're doing it together.
Yeah.
But I was like, this is like a little heaven for me.
Yeah, I mean, I think my answer is really similar. Like, I mean, I went to a friend's birthday party on Saturday, and it was almost like I almost didn't go too, because it was like after like a pretty busy day, and showing up, it was like I was looking around and I was like, it was all my friends from when I finally found like my comedy scene. And it was just like looking around and being like, I've known most of these people for like over 10 years, and just being in like in a circle full of those people and like making each other laugh is like is really hard to compete with. And when I think back, you know, because heaven for me, I try not to get lost in the past too much because it's a dangerous place to be. And is it even really real? But like, you know, my dog that passed away like in 2020, like that was heaven.
Your dog?
Yeah, he
what
was.
What kind of dog?
Well, he was a basset hound.
No way.
Yeah, and his name was Duncan, and
Duncan is a really basset hound kind of name.
He and you couldn't get more basset hound.
Yeah,
Duncan, the boyfriend from My Date with the President's Daughter. That's a basset hound name if I ever heard one.
absolutely.
Basset hound.
Yeah.
Great theme song to that movie too. My Date with the President's Daughter. Yeah.
My date with her.
Yeah. With her. Yeah. I just watched this movie last night. It's this horror movie from like I think 1981 called The Stepfather, and it's like about a stepfather who's like murders his family, and then he like the movie starts with him. He just murdered one family, now he's going to find a new family. He's like jumping family to family, and when the movie ended, I thought it would have been so funny if the credits song was like The Stepfather. Oh, that's not my dad. He fucks my mom. You know, like I think every movie should have like a
whatever
theme
the
song.
plot line is, they
Yeah.
just blatantly announce it.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say it would be funny if at the end of him killing his stepfamily it goes, "My date with the president's daughter." My date with her.
Yeah. No, I mean either would have made it only a better viewing experience. But yeah, I don't know, like heaven for me is just like it's like the connection. It's like and I hope that if there is like an afterlife, if when I enter it and if it's like some sort of like, you know, like I hope the positive vibration of it is that like I'm thinking about all the people that I've cared about, friends, family, and those interactions, because that is, it's all love, you know. It's all love.
It's all love.
Yeah.
All right, Vera Drew.
This was. You should have me back every week. Is that my phone?
Yeah,
Jesus, you shouldn't have me back every week.
time for you to do a bump of K.
Yeah. Let's see.
Bring them on.
This would be a really funny call to have on the podcast, but I'm not going to do it.
Who was it?
It's one of the producers in my next movie. It's
Oh.
either great news. I think it's great news, but it could also
My
be
date
like
with the president's daughter too.
It could, that's
Greenland.
that's the next. William
All right.
Friedkin, is that or no?
We'll see you in heaven.
See you in heaven.